Hi, greetings, fellow hunters. Want to look at Supernatural Season 4, now continues on with the episode On the Head of a Pin. Castiel arrives at a parking lot where the cars have been overturned and car alarms are blaring. He silences them with a gesture and goes to the center of the chaos, where a woman in white is resting, a sword wound in her sternum. He sadly wishes sister goodbye and then departs as the police arrive. Sam and Dean are driving through the night from Pamela's funeral, and Sam tells Dean that Ruby is going to meet them after tracking some leads. Dean says he doesn't care and is feeling guilty and becoming tired of losing all of their friends. Sam tells him to get angry, not tired. They check into a motel and find Uriel and Castiel waiting for them. Dean snaps at them by mentioning that their friend and reminds Castiel of her. Uriel is less than sympathetic while Castiel expresses sympathy, but Uriel puts him in his place, something Dean notes of. Uriel then informs their brothers that 7 angels have been killed and they don't know how the demons are doing it. They want Dean to interrogate Alistair, their captive. Dean refuses, but Uriel tells them they're not asking. The angels disappear with Dean, leaving Sam behind. Castiel shows Dean Alistair, bound within Devil's Trap in an empty warehouse. Dean tries to leave, but Uriel blocks him. Castiel says they have no choice but to ask, and Dean asks to speak to Castiel alone. Uriel leaves after being amused with Dean's defiance as Castiel warns that his superiors are beginning to doubt him because of his sympathies toward humans. Dean warns that Castiel won't like what walks out if Dean goes in to torture Alistair. Castiel assures him he'd give everything for Dean not to do it. Dean goes into the chamber alone. Alistair starts singing as Dean starts preparing a collection of torture instruments. Alistair laughs and wonders if Dean is scared. Dean denies, and Alistair points out Dean left part of himself back in the pit. He suggests Dean might want to get revenge if not for how Alistair tortured Dean, the everything he did to Dean's father, John Winchester, and as Dean becomes angry. Ruby is in the motel and doesn't see the problem, but Sam warns that Dean can't get the job done. He's not strong enough anymore, but Sam says he'll be strong enough to do it. Dean questions Alistair's remark, as the latter boasts of what he did to John in his time in hell, but admits he never did break him the same way he broke Dean. Alistair continues by stating he expected Dean to have a similar will, but mocks him for not being strong-willed like his father. Annoyed, Dean tells him that he could still dream in hell, and he dreamed of torturing him. He started with a syringe filled with holy water. Outside, Alistair screams of pain. At the motel, Ruby conducts a tracking spell to locate Dean. Sam says he needs it and it's been weeks. Ruby tells him it'll be okay and cuts herself on the arm. He eagerly sucks the blood from her. Uh-oh. Dean goes to Demon killing knife with holy water, and Alistair asks if the torture will give him closure. Dean plunges the knife at Alistair, but the demon still boasts if I change Dean and there's no going back. Dean admits he's right, but now it's his turn. He's unaware the water valve is moving by itself when the water is dripping on the Devil's Trap. Outside, Castiel sees lights flickers and realizes that Anna has arrived. She's created a duplicate of her human body. Castiel warns that he still has orders to kill her, but she's sure he won't. She asks why they're letting Dean do this and questions if torturing is God's work. Castiel refuses to question the will of God. Then it questions where the orders are coming from God. Anna points out that he's feeling doubt and insists the orders are wrong. She suggests they can act together, but he insists that he's nothing like her. He tells her to go and she disappears. Alistair still refuses to give the angel killer's name. He explains that Lilith had a particular reason to get Dean, but Dean shuts him up by pouring salt in his mouth. As Sam drives through the night, Alistair explains that John was supposed to bring it on, but it turned out it was Dean. He describes how the first person Dean tortured was the first seal. When he broke, it broke. Alistair points out that when they summon the apocalypse, it will be Dean's fault. Alistair focuses on the water pipe as it continues to drip on the seal. Dean figures Alistair is telling the truth, but warns he won't be there to see it. When he turns, Alistair is free and attacks Dean. Dean hits him repeatedly until Castiel arrives, plunging the demon-killing knife into his shoulder. Castiel twists the knife, but Alistair manages to pull it and lunges at the angel. The two fight while Dean lies on the floor unconscious. Alistair slams Castiel back onto a hook, then admits that all he can do is send Castiel back to heaven. The demon starts reciting incantations as Castiel glows with white light. Suddenly Alistair chokes and falls back as Sam arrives, using his powers to pin Alistair to the wall. Sam demands the name of the angel killer and tortures him. Alistair says he doesn't know. Finally admits the demons are not killing the angels, and Lilith won't just stop at 7. Won't stop at just 7 angels. Alistair dares Sam to send him back, but Sam tells him he can kill demons now. He focuses his powers and destroys the demon once for all. Castiel stares at Sam in shock. Sam gets Dean to the hospital and sits at his bedside. Castiel meets him outside and tells Sam tells him to heal Dean. Castiel apologizes, saying the trap shouldn't have broken. Sam says Alistair wasn't lying. They need to find out who or what is killing the angels. Euro's empty park when Castiel arrives. Euro says he's received a revelation that they've to stop hunting the demons. Even Euro realizes something is wrong in heaven, and they wonder who could be responsible. Castiel wonders if God is punishing them, or if God isn't giving the orders anymore. Euro disappears, saying he won't wait to be gutted. That night, Castiel calls out to Anna and she comes. He admits he's considering disobedience, but she warns that it gets worse as he exerts his independence. He flinches when she touches him. Castiel begs her to tell him what to do. Anna refuses, telling him it's time to think for himself. He looks at a nearby drinking fountain and sees a water valve. Castiel returns to the warehouse and examines the water valve that broke the devil's trap. Euro arrives and asks if Castiel will fight with him. Castiel says that no demon could have broken his trap. He talks of their time together and asks Uriel for the truth. Uriel tells him that only an angel could kill an angel and extends a sword from his sleeve. He explains that the plan was that Alistair was to have killed Dean and escaped. Uriel's plan is conversion, and he's angry that God created humans. He wants Castiel to join them so that they can raise her brother Lucifer, who never bowed to humanity. Uriel asks Castiel to spread the word and bring on the apocalypse. Uriel tells him not to be afraid, and Castiel says he isn't, and slams Uriel through a wall. Two fight, but Uriel quickly gets the upper hand, insisting there is no God. Anna comes from behind and kills him. Dean wakes up at the hospital to find Castiel at his side. Castiel tells him to be careful, and informs him that Uriel was a traitor. Dean asks if Alistair spoke the truth. The Castiel confirms that Dean broke the first seal. They laid siege to hell to stop him, but were too late. Castiel explains that the righteous man who begins it is the only one who can finish it. Dean says he has no idea what it means, and Castiel admits that he doesn't know either. Dean says that he can't do it. He's not strong enough. He tells Castiel to find someone else. Aww. So anyway, let's take a look at some continuity surrounding this episode. Alistair was captured in the previous episode by Castiel. Alistair mentioned that John Winchester was supposed to be the one to break the first seal. John had gone to hell in exchange for Azazel resurrecting Dean, and later escaped when the Devil's Gate was opened. He had been tortured for 100 years in hell time, but refused to become a demon or tortured for a century. Sam has been drinking demon blood to enhance his powers. Animalton last appeared in heaven and hell. 6 of the 7 angels who died may have been the ones Castiel mentioned in Are You There, God? It's Me, Dean Winchester. Dean works up Castiel bringing up Pamela Barnes' eyes, which occurred in Lazarus Rising. Dean mentions Pamela's death, which happened in the previous episode. Uriel stating Castiel has a Megot foreshadows Castiel's search for him in Season 5 and is meeting him in Season 11. And now finally, let's take a look at some trivia surrounding this episode. This episode is an example of how every single supernatural being has a so unique set of strengths and weaknesses. For example, Alistair could push Castiel away extremely easily and was physically far superior than that. He could hold him very easily by the neck, but could be injured and even almost killed by the demon killing knife. Castiel just misses hard and essentially only hits his shoulder, but Castiel was truly immune to the knife's demon killing abilities when Dean stabbed him in the heart. The symbols used to contain Alistair were old Enochian, which, according to Castiel, cannot be broken by any demon. The angel blades make their first appearance on the show here. The dead angel at the beginning is the only angel known in the series to have worn a full dress. However, a female angel wear professional business attire. Castiel was supposed to be killed off in this episode, but due to his popularity, he remained alive. Alistair makes a reference to the famous board game Monopoly when he says, "Go directly to hell, do not pass. Go, do not collect 200, referring to the card that says, "Go to jail." The episode refers to a question, how many angels can dance on the head of a pin, which was used to dismiss angelology, the existence of angels in more than one realm, and their hierarchy, along with scholasticism in general. This is the first and only episode to feature the Enochian devil trap and the second episode to feature angel exorcism, the first time being in heaven and hell. So overall, I think this episode is kind of interesting, and yeah, it is kind of interesting to see Dean torture Alistair, and you do kind of feel bad for him again for what he had to do in hell. So yeah. So overall, I give On the Head of a Pin 5 Impalas out of 5. Anyway, tune in a bit as we take a look at the next episode. It's a Terrible Life. So until then, carry on, my wayward sons and daughters.